8th place, Esther. Esther, originally a Jewish captive, rose to prominence through her beauty and wisdom, surpassing many others to become the Queen of Persia under King Xerxes. After the former queen, Vashti, was deposed, Esther took her place, carefully concealing her Jewish identity while gaining the king's favor with her grace and intelligence. When the Jewish people faced annihilation due to Haman's plot, Esther responded with courage and strategy. She fasted for 3 days, seeking God's guidance, and then approached the king, inviting him to 2 banquets. At the second banquet, Esther revealed her Jewish heritage and pleaded for the king to save her people. Her bravery and strategic approach were crucial in exposing Haman's scheme and saving the Jewish nation. 7th place, Samuel. Samuel was dedicated to God from a young age, growing up under the priest Eli. His first act as a prophet was to deliver God's message to Eli. After Eli's death, Samuel became Israel's spiritual leader, guiding the nation as its last judge. He led the Israelites in their battles against the Philistines, seeking God's help to secure victory. When the people demanded a king, Samuel followed God's direction and anointed Saul as Israel's first king. Later, when Saul disobeyed God, Samuel was instructed to anoint David as the next king. Throughout these complex political events, Samuel remained wise and discerning, faithfully following God's will. As a judge, he was known for his fairness and dedication, traveling throughout the land to resolve the people's issues. 6th place, Deborah. Deborah was both a prophetess and a judge in Israel, serving as a spiritual leader and military strategist. She held court under the palm of Deborah, where she made fair judgments and provided leadership to the Israelites. Deborah's wisdom was especially evident in her military strategy against the Canaanite king Jabin and his commander Sisera. With God's guidance, Deborah summoned Barak to lead an army of 10,000 men to Mount Tabor. Although Barak insisted that Deborah accompany him, she courageously led the charge. In the ensuing battle at the Kishon River, the Israelites achieved a decisive victory, and Sisera was killed by Yael, another woman of great courage. Deborah's leadership, both in battle and in faith, saved Israel and set an example of wise and godly leadership. 5th place, Daniel. Daniel is celebrated in the Bible as a symbol of wisdom and courage. After being taken captive to Babylon following the fall of the kingdom of Judah, Daniel's wisdom quickly became apparent. He earned the trust of King Nebuchadnezzar by interpreting the king's dreams, which no one else could do, rising to a high position in the kingdom as a result. Daniel also demonstrated his wisdom by interpreting the mysterious writing on the wall during King Belshazzar's feast, warning that the king's reign was about to end. In the reign of King Darius, Daniel's exceptional administrative skills and loyalty led to his appointment as one of the top officials. Despite his enemies' plots, Daniel remained faithful to God, even when thrown into the lion's den, where he miraculously survived. Daniel's wisdom was not just intellectual but also moral, as he consistently displayed courage and unwavering faith. 4th place, Moses. Moses' wisdom is evident from his early life. Raised in the Egyptian palace, he received the best education and became well-versed in Egyptian culture and knowledge. However, he never forgot his Hebrew roots. When he saw an Egyptian mistreating a Hebrew, he intervened, leading to a situation where he had to flee to the wilderness of Midian. It was here that God called Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Initially hesitant, citing his lack of ability, Moses ultimately trusted in God's wisdom and followed his commands. Moses confronted Pharaoh, delivering God's message and bringing 10 plagues upon Egypt, leading to the Israelites' liberation. He then led the people through the Red Sea and received God's laws at Mount Sinai, establishing the foundation for the nation of Israel. Beyond leading the nation, Moses also served as a judge, resolving disputes among the people, and with the advice of his father-in-law Jethro, established a system of delegated judicial authority. To this day, Moses is revered as Israel's greatest leader and the lawgiver. 3rd place, Joseph. Joseph's brothers were envious of him and sold him into slavery in Egypt. However, Joseph didn't give up. He worked faithfully in Potiphar's house and earned his trust. But when Potiphar's wife falsely accused him after he resisted her advances, Joseph was thrown into prison. Even there, Joseph's wisdom shone through as he interpreted the dreams of Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker. This eventually led to Pharaoh summoning Joseph to interpret his troubling dreams. Joseph not only accurately interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, predicting 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine, but he also advised Pharaoh to store grain during the years of plenty to prepare for the famine. Impressed by his wisdom, Pharaoh appointed Joseph as the prime minister of Egypt, where Joseph's wisdom became renowned throughout the land. Second place, Paul. Paul, originally named Saul, was a Jew from Tarsus and a Roman citizen. He studied under Gamaliel, one of the most respected teachers of the law. This education provided Paul with deep theological knowledge and sharp reasoning skills, which later proved invaluable in his mission to spread the gospel. Initially, Paul was a fierce persecutor of Christians, but his encounter with Jesus on the road to Damascus dramatically changed his life. Paul's wisdom was evident in his missionary journeys, where he established churches across Asia Minor, Greece, and Rome. He was adept at understanding and respecting the cultures and traditions of the regions he visited, using their language and philosophy to communicate the gospel effectively. For example, in Athens, Paul engaged in a debate at the Areopagus, using the Athenians' own religious beliefs and philosophical concepts to introduce them to Jesus Christ, showcasing his flexibility and deep understanding. Moreover, Paul's letters to various churches addressed their specific issues and provided a framework for managing church affairs. His epistles contain profound theological insights and practical advice, laying the foundation for Christian doctrine that still influences the church today. Paul also mentored and trained leaders, ensuring that the churches he planted could thrive. Despite facing severe persecution, imprisonment, beatings, and shipwrecks, Paul never wavered in his mission to spread the gospel. His wisdom, combined with his unwavering commitment, left a lasting legacy in Christian history. First place, Solomon. King Solomon is widely recognized as the epitome of wisdom in the Bible. When he became king, Solomon asked God not for wealth or honor but for the wisdom to govern his people justly. One of the most famous examples of Solomon's wisdom is the judgment involving 2 women who claimed to be the mother of the same baby. Solomon's order to divide the baby in 2, knowing that the real mother would rather give up her child than see him killed, revealed the true mother and demonstrated Solomon's extraordinary insight and wisdom. Solomon's wisdom also extended to his political achievements. He brought unprecedented prosperity to Israel and maintained peace through shrewd diplomacy with neighboring nations. During his reign, Israel experienced its most prosperous and stable period in history. The Queen of Sheba's visit, where she marveled at Solomon's wisdom and wealth, further highlights his remarkable reign. Solomon also made significant literary contributions, writing Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Songs, leaving behind a legacy of wisdom for humanity. However, despite his wisdom, Solomon's later years were marked by spiritual and moral decline. His many marriages to foreign women led him into idolatry, which ultimately contributed to the division of the Israelite kingdom. This serves as a powerful reminder that even the wisest among us are vulnerable to human weaknesses and temptations. That wraps up our look at some of the most brilliant and godly figures in the Bible.